Hello and welcome to Comic Book Movie Oblivion, the podcast about feature films based on comic books and comic strips that people have stopped talking about. We are your hosts, Jordan and Kumar, that's me.
And me.
And this week we are talking about Fullmetal Alchemist, The Revenge of Scar, with the full Manga Alchemists, Tim and Patrick in Tokyo. Hello.
Hello. Full Manga Alchemist podcast. Yes.
Did I say it wrong?
It's another cross.
I'm not sure which you said. I heard full and I heard alchemist.
It's another crossover event with Tim, various members of Tim's baby podcasts, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, Deconstructing Comics is kind of the central one, and then there's some Batman 66 stuff, To the Bat Polls / Bat Bits on Patreon, and Full Manga Alchemists, and some other Patreon discussion.
I should say, we consider Comic Book Movie Oblivion to be in the lineage of your podcast, since Kumar and I had our start on
kind of a Deconstructing Comics spin-off. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, often when we do a sequel episode like we do to Fantastic Four, I have to do a YouTube numbers report. And for our first episode of Full Metal Alchemist, the live-action movies, our YouTube number is the lowest of all our episodes with 8. 8 views on YouTube.
Incredible.
Huh. Okay.
Even lower than, oh my god, that's...
Wait a minute, let me add to it real quick.
I don't know why that should be. Often the manga episodes do decent.
Well, because we're competing with Full Manga Alchemist, clearly.
Right. Yes, right.
Well, but ours is not on YouTube, so we're not competing there.
Damn, there goes my excuse. Well,
but if I look at our audio podcast stats, we're at 80 for that episode.
Okay. It's probably like our audio stats are probably around 30, but our YouTube, that's our lowest YouTube score.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Don't feel too bad. Like, I'm married to somebody who is like a YouTube master. So, like, she just made a hardback book, like large size of One Piece.
Okay.
Like, she does bookbinding, and she hasn't released a video yet, but I know what's gonna happen. She did Sailor Moon. She got 5,000 new followers.
Oh my god.
So,
We've never even had 5,000 views.
Yeah, me neither.
No, we do. We do. Some of our episodes have 12,000.
Oh, nice.
5,000, 12,000. I think it's something we discuss in our podcast all the time. I think, for example, our Tales from the Crypt episode has something like 13,000 views. This is from the 1970s, that movie.
People look at the length.
Yeah.
People look at the length and think they're going to see the movie.
I think people are clicking on it,
or
because it says episode 75, Tales from the Crypt, people are clicking on it by accident. But there are certain other ones that I'm not sure why. Like we did a manga one. We did one on Distant Neighborhood. That one's at like 10,000. Why? Don't know. Very strange.
My private theory is that we appeal to 3 core groups. People that click on it by accident.
Yeah.
Boomers and weebs that are looking for their nostalgia hit.
Yeah.
And anytime we put breasts in the thumbnail.
Yes, that does work actually.
Wait. Yours or Kumar's? Whose breasts?
Zing. Patrick.
It's the podcast equivalent of putting a gorilla on the cover of your DC Comics.
A crying gorilla. Yes.
Okay, well, let's talk about this movie.
Well, do we have to?
Well, we'll start with a bit of the manga, so we won't cover it all because we did that last time.
Well,
what are the major events from 11 to 15 that we need to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a fool's errand to say read Fullmetal Alchemist from here to here to fit with watching the certain movie, because they've scrambled the whole thing. I was telling you, part of the first movie was from volume like 22. This one kind of centers on like volume, what was it? 11,
15
12,
for the Civil War? Yeah.
11, 12, yeah, and 15 for the Civil War volume. Like the highlights of that are in this movie. So a lot of it is from there. But I mean, I was putting it in my notes like, okay, we're going from chapter 32 to chapter 6 to chapter 7 to chapter 31 to chapter 9. It's like all over the map.
You know, every time I finish one of these Full Metal Alchemist movies, I keep hoping that at the end they do the gags that they would do at the end of a volume. Because
the
what a
four-panel
wasted
manga.
opportunity
You
not
want
to
some
do those
four-panel
gags.
gag manga at the end of
Yeah.
Right. Well, there are
Well-
some things that definitely are covered in these 5 volumes that are in the movie that we should.
What are the
Cover.
major revelations or plot beats?
So
that
there's a
occur?
bit of. Well, the main thing, of course, because of the movie, is Scar, which I think is maybe volume 11 mostly, where Scar, who was this victim of the Ishbalan War, has come back for revenge and is killing state alchemists. He's a serial killer of these state
War, that was a police action.
Right. He's back. So I guess he was. I don't remember how he entered or left in the first 10 volumes, but now he's back and he's killing again.
Well, we first see him when he's like putting Nina, who was combined with her dog, out of her misery.
Was that the first time we saw him?
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Where he euthanized her and then he killed Sho Tucker, which of course they did completely differently in movie 1 because
Right.
Scar wasn't even in that movie.
Right. No. Okay. Right. Oh, right. So in this movie, this is the first time we're seeing.
Yeah,
Yes.
Scar.
yeah, he was
Got it.
not in the
Okay.
first.
He wasn't in the first movie. No.
Okay.
Yeah, and we see him right away in the first scene of this one, in a scene that is very much straight from the manga.
Yeah. It was brilliant. It
from
was all downhill after that scene, frankly.
volume 11, end of chapter 43, when Scar kills the Silver Alchemist.
Right. Also in volume 11, Ed's father comes back and kind of tries to reconnect a little bit, but he's very cold. And he's cryptic, and he leaves a cryptic warning when he leaves that, like, the country's going to be destroyed, get out while you still can. And then walks out. I'm like, why isn't he taking care of them? And then he gets in a carriage, which is like a horse-drawn carriage, which is
this is in the manga, not the movie.
Yeah, we're talking about the manga. Beset by brigands, and then they try to shoot him, and he's not killed. And he survives these bullets. And people are like, "Why? How did you survive?" He says, "I'm a monster." So by the end of the 15th volume, at least, we don't know what the answer to this mystery is of why he's surviving these bullets. And that's basically all we see of that character. We learn why Lin Yao.
Lin Yao.
Lin Yao. So he came from the eastern country of Jing, and we learn why he's here in Amestris. He's trying to learn the secret of immortality to give it to his emperor, so he has favor and will be next in line for the throne.
Yes.
Once the
And
emperor...
he does want it for himself
That's
as
right.
well.
And there's also this girl named Mei Chang, also from Jing. She shows up with a cute panda sidekick. Now,
Xiao Mei.
Xiao Mei. I was wondering, what is the first example of the cute animal sidekick in manga? Like, in Naruto, there's the one that sits on the kid's head. I know Astro Boy had Toby or something, the dog. But that wasn't quite like, there's a certain cliched... This thing has become such a trope now in manga of this little cute animal character.
You know what? I came across one that was, I'm talking like 70s or early 80s. And I was thinking, oh my God, doesn't this look very Ghibli before Ghibli?
Right.
But I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. And Evangelion had the penguin that was living in the apartment. It's very much...
Pen.
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 So it's very much that kind of thing. She's got this cute little panda that kind of mirrors her movement sometimes, but actually comes into the plot a little bit. There's some understanding about Al's metal body and that his physical body still exists in some other realm. They figure this out because he's still creating memories. And they're like, well, the memory can't be created in the suit of armor, so your physical brain must still exist on some plane of existence somewhere.
Yeah, we learned a little bit about the rules.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have to have three things in order to be alive, it seems. You need a body, a soul, and a spirit.
Yeah, I wonder what was the Japanese for that. I think that would be a nightmare as a translator to have to divide soul and spirit into two different things. There's a whole...
Well, I think that would be what, like kokoro and tamashi, I guess.
Oh, maybe something like that. Yeah.
Because kokoro, like, you know, I mean, as you probably know,
Mind.
like kokoro is mind, but it's like, where is the kokoro?
Right.
It's not necessarily here either. It's like solar plexus or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Tim, this is the part of the conversation where I zone out.
So, they, Ed and Al are like, well, we need to catch a homunculi. They're like, I can't remember what their motivation. I think this is part of figuring out how to get Al's body back. Was maybe we need a homunculus to. I can't remember exactly, but they're like, well, they know that they aren't going to be killed by these homunculi.
They're supposed to be human sacrifices.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's be really conspicuous. Go out, do a bunch of like volunteer handyman jobs around town as an alchemist, and then Scar will come out and try to kill me, and then the homunculi will appear and save us, and then we'll catch a homunculi. Right.
Yep. They won't allow them to be killed because they need them for something.
Yes, and this turns into a whole volume 12. The entire thing is basically one gigantic battle with a huge number of moving parts, all sorts of characters, all sorts of revelations in mid-battle about like the president being a homunculus himself.
Oh yeah.
And we learned that Scar apparently killed Winry's parents. Interestingly, the way it's portrayed in the manga, more than once, we never actually see him, quote unquote, pull the trigger. It's never on screen. I kept thinking they were going to back out of it, like, and reveal that no, they died of diabetes 10 seconds before he was able to stab them, or something. Yeah. I think.
Well, we know that Kimberly was he was heading to assassinate them at the time.
Right.
So perhaps Arakawa was leaving.
Wimbley she sniped them in the back of the head before they were stabbed by Scar.
Perhaps she hadn't made up her mind.
Do you guys?
Winry?
No, it's pretty clear that Kimberly didn't kill them because he finds their dead bodies at the end of volume 15.
So what do you think about the cartooning decision to not show the act? Do you think it was just too horrific to put on page, or why do you think she did it that way?
I think it's possible, because Scar does go through a kind of redemption arc, you know?
Right.
But I think it's possible that by not making it too clear, like, you never see Anakin like skewering a child.
Right.
Right. Sorry, Patrick, youngling.
Yeah.
Oh, youngling. Oh, then it's okay, right? You can get 3 to 1 lightsaber, I think, you know? No.
Yeah,
I
sure winced when that word came up. Huh? Why are we just calling them kids? You're just creating distance here when you need to throw it in our faces.
That was yeah. I think you might be right, Patrick. Like, to make him, to keep his sympathetic nature in potential, we don't show him literally murdering, humanitarian doctors.
Yeah, and nor do we see it in the movie.
No, we don't.
It's
you're
just
right.
Implied, but.
Although, to continue the Star Wars reference, we do see Force Ghost parents.
Yeah, I had that Star Wars reference in my notes, and another one too.
Another one. Oh, I look forward to hearing about it.
So Mei Chang, who is the other girl from Xing, who's also looking for the secret of immortality, if I'm right about that, she shows up and saves Scar. They're trying to Al and Ed are trying to protect Winry from knowing that Scar was the one that killed her parents, because her parents were doctors in the Ishbalan Civil War and were actually treating Ishbalan injured, quote unquote, the enemy. And he was one of the enemy, and he got up and killed them, even though he was healed by them. She saves him, and Winry does actually end up overhearing that he had killed her parents. She picks up a gun and almost kills him. Is basically stopped by Ed, like, don't cross that line. The president.
Yeah, and that ends up being kind of one of the big themes of the whole thing.
Yeah, breaking the cycle of revenge and violence.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Which came across pretty well in the movie, I thought.
I think there were a couple scenes in the movie that were good about that. Absolutely. The president ends up fighting against Lin.
And his protectors, his kind of ninja.
Right. What was her name again?
Lanfan.
Lanfan, okay.
The female one. And Fu is her grandfather.
Right, so they see his eye with the Ouroboros tattoo, like, on the pupil, and they're like, that guy's a homunculus.
Well, they force him to reveal it by setting off a flash bomb.
Right.
And he then has to take off his eye patch to see with the covered eye, and then it's revealed that he's a homunculus at that point. Which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Not at all clear what's going on in the film.
So did we know, we didn't know that he's a homunculus before this volume, right? This is the big reveal, right?
No, that's the reveal.
Yeah, this is definitely. Turn the page and go, what?
Yeah.
Shocking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, in a manga, you can draw a big center panel. In the film, of course, you can't really tell what you're looking at. Well, much of the rhetorical impact is... Sorry, yeah, Patrick?
Oh, I'll be honest that I actually thought that her naming of him, calling him King Bradley President Führer.
King Führer President.
Yeah, whatever the order is.
Anyone that's called Führer is probably not going to be a good guy.
Well, having Führer in there, I thought she was just making a kind of naive choice, because, to be honest, I don't expect a lot of people to kind of be up on actual world history events these days. To be honest, I had to.
This did come out 25 years ago, almost.
I know, but I did have to teach high school kids, like, oh no, Hitler was the bad guy. So it was, and that was also about 20 years ago that I had to do that. So
shocking.
But so I thought it was like a naive choice, but no, okay. okay, good choice.
Yeah,
there was a thing. She was doing a thing.
He seems so avuncular in the beginning.
Friendly. He's a friendly. He's a
great word. Yes, he absolutely does. That's why it's so shocking, the reveal that not only is he an homunculus, but the most angry of all, Wrath.
Wrath.
But he's not even the big bad. That was a surprise as well.
Yes, but I think don't they speculate in the manga that, like, oh, there might be somebody above him. I feel like somebody at some point was, like, wondering about that.
Yes, because we had actually met Father a little earlier in the manga, when he'd absorbed greed.
Right.
So we the audience knew that there was a sinister big bad going on.
Yeah. At the end of this battle, they do manage to capture the homunculus Gluttony. They take him to some location. It's not, like, official. But he manages to escape, and then Envy shows up, and there's a big fight, and Envy's like, don't swallow Ed or Al. Those guys are sacred human sacrifices. But Gluttony, through error, can't help himself, does swallow Edward, Lynn, and
Envy himself.
And Envy himself. That's right.
Well, Envy may be non-binary.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
He's multiple.
Yeah.
Well, actually, non-binary is probably not the...
Fluid. Definitely fluid.
Gender fluid, definitely gender fluid. Yes.
And literally, like, shapeshifter.
Yeah, he's appearance fluid.
Actually, well cast in the movie for that, like a really androgynous.
I think so, yeah. I think there's a lot of really excellent casting.
Yes.
Generally speaking.
Yeah.
Man, the guy that got to play the doctor, the non-Dr. Marco doctor.
Yeah.
Dr. Knox. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
How do you find this guy?
Yeah.
They just ripped him right off our comic page with Silly Putty and then just made it come to life.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, the only does Alex Armstrong show up in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Okay.
What
he did not come straight
is
off
this a
the
sarcasm
page.
question? What is the
No, because
yes.
I
Yes, it is this movie. It is this movie.
2 and 3 together. So
He does show up.
sure.
Yes. He's the exception. The big
I would say
exception.
that his casting was not the best.
We'll talk
It's
about
not his
that,
acting,
for sure.
just physicality wise.
I guess. I mean, are you gonna find any actual human who's that size and shape? I don't know.
Yes.
And speaks Japanese.
You'd have to,
I know Japanese
that's
guys that are better built than that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a combination. Look, if we're going to talk about this right now, it's a combination. They got this guy that's sort of a big guy. Of course, he's not at the level of the manga, and consistently, as good as the casting is, these characters are larger than life. The way Arakawa portrays them in the manga, draws them, and gives every character gets a backstory. I was really reminded, oftentimes you read interviews with manga authors, and they often say, oh, my favorite book is Les Miserables or War and Peace. And you see it in all these series. There's all these side plots, and every character has a backstory. I was really surprised when Mei Chang had a backstory in this, and every little person who you think is just going to be a side character. This guy that's injured, Havoc, he gets a whole character arc through this thing about him. Is he going to stay in the army or quit, or how useless is he?
Yeah, because he gets injured, and well, I mean, and the manga has this kind of running theme of dealing with losing some ability. You lose your arm, or being handicapped, or in some way, and dealing with that. So Havoc is just another incarnation of that.
So giving up a part of yourself for a cause.
Yeah,
it happens over and over, doesn't it?
So with Armstrong, I mean, this is a character which you could not really bring to life, even with the Marvel gym workouts, that secret program, whatever they're on.
The Marvel method.
They've tried to give him this ridiculous hairdo.
The super soldier serum.
They've given him. By the way, I remember we were talking about Ed's hair last time and how he didn't have the cowlick. This time the cowlick was kind of prominent.
Yes, he did. Yeah, it came. It was there. I saw that. And I was
so
pleased
they've given
to see
him
it.
this idiotic hairdo, and
It's a shame.
and then we suddenly, within 10 minutes or 15 minutes, we get his flashback to the Ishbalan War, and he's holding a dead child and crying in the sepia mise-en-scène. And we're supposed to be really touched by this. Now, in the manga, we've had 10 volumes, 13 volumes to fall in love with
this ridiculous
looking character.
He's already cried 25 times by that point.
And then see what he went through in that war and go, oh my God, this is awful. And in the movie, you get 10 seconds with this guy that looks just so strange, and you're like, is this a comedy character? What is this weirdo? And then suddenly he's holding a dead baby, and I'm supposed to be like sad about it?
I mean, I felt like, the amount of, I mean, they didn't want to make 10 movies, obviously, but you'd have to get to cover everything in the manga. And so there were a lot of characters who finally showed up in this movie, but really got short shrift because there just wasn't time to really, like Kimberly, like, why'd you even bother bringing Kimberly in? Because you're not getting to any of his stuff.
Maybe we will in the third movie.
And like Havoc and the other of Mustang's troops, they're just kind of there for fan service, I felt like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Easter eggs,
I mean, the guy that plays Kimberly is well cast. He looks exactly like Kimberly, incredibly so. But he barely belongs in this movie.
For somebody who hasn't read the manga, like, who's this guy?
Yeah. Well, no one who's watching this movie hasn't read.
That's true.
Like, or no one who's understanding this movie.
I mean, somebody.
That's true. Yes, Patrick. Yes.
Somebody might have gotten dragged to it by their girlfriend or boyfriend who
I
read
did
it.
wonder
And
about that, like parents that were taking their kids in. Like, well, yeah, I did wonder about that.
Oh,
Well, I did do this when my daughter was little. I showed her the Cat in the Hat animation first, and then we read the
Mike
book
Myers?
together.
Okay.
No, not the Mike Myers
I
one.
was gonna say.
Not the Mike.
I thought that might be where this was going.
The '60s. The '60s
Oh, the animation.
animation. Yeah, and
So what did you show her first?
I showed her that animated short
The '60s
first.
one.
The '60s one that
And
just
then?
follows the book directly, and then she wanted to read the book.
Book.
So we
Okay.
read the book together. So maybe it's a similar thing. You take your kids to see
No
it.
one
they
who
go,
watches this movie is going to want to read the manga.
well, maybe they'll go like, "What was that about?" Aha! The answers are here.
Well, I will say, like the
Yeah.
whole way through,
27 volumes.
after watching the first movie and knowing what it was like narratively, structurally, when I started this movie, or when I started reading these volumes, 11 to 15, immediately I was like, oh, I wonder if they're going to put this storyline in, or I wonder if they're going to mention this thing with no explanation. It's going to be confusing. And I don't know, it was very unpredictable. It didn't play out like quite how I was expecting. Anyway, so volume 14 mostly is about Al and Ed. I think it's about them trying to get out of Gluttony's stomach for most of the volume. We get Dr. Knox's backstory. And we get a whole thing about Lynn accepting to be taken over by the homunculus. That might come up in the next movie.
Yeah, but I
we
mean,
spent-
the original Greed is not in the movie at all. Apparently, they just dumped him.
Right. And
had to dump someone.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, then Barry
probably
the
should have dumped a
Chopper is
few more
gone
characters.
too. We
Yeah,
wanted Barry the Chopper, but
That's a shame.
oh well.
A damn shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna bury the Chopper miniseries.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
And volume 15 is all about the backstory of the Ishbilan Civil War. This
Ishbalan genocide. Actually, we
this
find out.
was
Yeah.
I was very affected by this volume.
Oh yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah.
You just hear about this Civil War that's been in the background for 14 volumes, and we mentioned last week that the movie really didn't mention it almost at all. And suddenly this is dropped on us, and immediately I'm like, oh, all of these Ishbilan citizens have a different skin tone than the Emestrians. And I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
We're going here. And then there's human experimentation going on, which often comes up in manga as like the ultimate evil, human experimentation. And I really
Oh, I thought it was shoplifting.
I really felt like I often wonder reading these manga if there's a really, I don't know, subconscious way of dealing with Nanking, like that's not that's forbidden from being written about in the textbooks. That shows anytime you read a war manga and there's like evil human experimentation happening, it's really full on. I'm like, is this what this manga artist is really trying to say and not be censored?
Could be.
That's a
Could
very
be.
interesting point because I just finished reading a book where it's talking about how a lot of horror movies used, like a lot of horror movies kind of expressed white man guilt.
Yeah.
Of about taking land
Yeah.
and agency away, and then expressing that through like it's getting expressed through horror movies and stuff. So that's a very interesting point. I know that like definitely a lot of 70s manga went about as far as they could go, pushing back against what they thought was imperialistic, fascistic Japan. And then I think in the 80s, just like in the States, it was all that kind of thing kind of got pushed to the side and forgotten. But yeah, I was very surprised at how sophisticated Arakawa was at handling a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
and the
definitely.
thing that really amazes me is how she managed to. So I mean, it's people who are ostensibly good people. I mean, we like them, who are following orders and doing these horrible things, and they're not being like completely treated as villains. They're like people who, we like, who have done bad things and regret them and are trying to deal with that and atone for that. It's really an interesting, sophisticated way of dealing with it.
Yeah. Yeah, we get all of Scar's backstory. There's all this religion tied up in it too, as well as the different skin tone. The Ishbalans have this religion which is tied into it. Scar, I think Scar is really skeptical. He's the one, right? That's
Yeah.
No, he's a priest.
Starts out.
Oh, okay. Right. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Scar's brother is an alchemist and a
Right.
free thinker. Scar himself
okay.
is
Right.
yeah, he belongs to the priesthood.
Yeah,
They have a warrior priesthood, and they're monotheists. The Emestrians don't seem to have religion.
Yeah.
Another
Is that true? I mean, I think the very first volume. Like,
Well, yeah, the Cornello thing, there's some kind of a
Oh, yeah,
religion
that's
going on there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that's. Of course, you're right. That's important.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be a state religion though. Whereas the Ishbalans very definitely. I mean, their name is the same name as their god's name. Their god is called Ishbala.
Yeah, I will also say, for 14 volumes leading up to this, I was like, why are they calling this a civil war? Didn't they go over there to another country, Ishbalan, and fight against them? And then in this volume, we had a map which shows Ishbalan is like a corner, and then you're like, oh shit, this is ethnic cleansing, is what's happening.
Yeah, it's part of Amestrius. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we do find out eventually that in coming volumes that it serves an alchemical purpose. I think they're used as sacrifices to prepare the way.
Yeah.
But we don't know that yet at this point, and it just seems like straight up 20th century ethnic cleansing.
Did they already mention like what the cause of the civil unrest was?
Yes, they did talk about how some soldier had shot an Ishbalan child, and that had caused this.
We find out that it was precipitated by the homunculi.
That's right. Yeah.
That
that it was
in disguise was the soldier.
Envy. Yeah, Envy was disguised as a soldier and shot the kid for the purpose of starting the war.
But yes, I'm inclined. I agree with everything everyone said. It's remarkable that Arakawa is a dairy farmer from Hokkaido, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think you find most of your history, of war experts are dairy farmers. I think.
But really, very sensitive treatment of things like PTSD, survivor's guilt, and kind of the kind of seriousness of purpose that comes from experiencing these events, all treated with sensitivity and dignity. So very, very impressive.
Yeah.
She
we're
can
getting
draw
to
too.
We're getting to the reasons why it's my favorite comic of any country.
I also, another thing about it was leading up to it, when I was reading 11 to 14, I was reminded how much I enjoy the fluidity of her cartooning and how it just turns to comedy so easily, just on a dime, even in a very serious conversation or in the middle of a battle. Suddenly we'll go into weird iconography of like comedy comics and stuff, and it will be really quite funny. There's a hilarious spit take into the face of a dog, which I laughed out loud at on one page. All that kind of stuff is happening. And she's just so controlled, because by 15 she's like, drop it out. It just drops out. You don't get any of that fun stuff.
Right, yeah, the comedy's gone in that volume.
Yeah.
It's rough, man. She can draw, she can write, she can plot, and she can milk a cow.
Yeah.
What is left for the rest of us?
Yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff, meanwhile, or back in the present, when Lynn or Roy Mustang, having found out that the president is a homunculus, tries to go back to Central City and reveal that the president is a homunculus, but everybody there already knows.
They all know. They're all in on it.
They're all in on
top
it.
brass.
And then Ed goes in for a meeting with the president, and he's like, I'm going to quit. And the president's like, no, don't, or I'll harm the people you love. So it's basically like it's a weird status quo that's maintained. They're like not going to fight this guy in this room even. They're just going to sit at a table with him and discuss.
Because the people they love will suffer, and
that's right.
Bradley is happy with the status quo because Father needs the state alchemists around as potential human sacrifices.
Yeah. And Roy Mustang's like, I still want to be
He's got
president.
the game stitched up. Yeah. It's good that the state is a large entity. The state exists. Like Father set it up essentially hundreds of years ago to serve his personal interests. But it's a big thing that has many thousands of people in it. There's room within the state of Amestris for people to have their own ambitions and their own careers. So you can have the scale never shrinks to one guy or to a clash of individuals. There's always a sense that these institutions are larger than the people that are involved in them, which is an excellent touch. I think in a lot of modern media, institutions tend to disappear and it becomes clash of, and it eventually you're just left with people. But
that's a good point. That's a good point.
I never lose the sense that Amestris is a real thing and not just Father's device.
Well, I don't know, it kind of hit me kind of heavy as far as like realizing that the whole country was built on this secret, really evil foundation. And but like when you're living in that, you don't care about the big picture as much as you care about just meeting your basic needs and etc. So if the system works for you, then fine. But there's some things that are hinky that seem a little off. But unless you look at like all the hinky things that are all tied together, you just think it's a few hinky things. It's not that, if you talk more than that, you're a conspiracy theorist. But then time marches on and you learn that your country's not as wonderful as you once thought. I'm not talking about reality or anything.
Well, I mean, our own countries could be alchemical engines of suffering to produce pseudo gods. We wouldn't know, and we might be okay with it if they were, as long as we could get on with our lives. And that, like most people in Amestris are doing that. I like also that people, like Father can't control alchemy totally. There seems to be alchemical discoveries occurring. Like Father maintains the state alchemist project to maintain a corpus of human sacrifices. But those state alchemists are still making independent discoveries separate from his own ambitions. I think the flame alchemy that we learn about in perhaps volume, is it 14 or 15?
15, yeah.
Like an individual alchemist separate from, who never became a state alchemist, discovered a form of alchemy that's an ultimate weapon, separate from the ambitions and purposes of the homunculi and Father. So people can still have their own, like this world has space for that kind of thing.
I mean, that's one thing that I really like about the whole kind of fluidity of that is because, I rag on it all the time, but the Hunter x Hunter type, like all the system will fit right in a video game, nice and neatly.
Yep.
Is just. I don't need that.
No, yes, I remember you mentioning that last time. I agree. This world has so much room in it, and it's not been built to sell a card game or something like that. It feels like a lived-in world.
Yeah. Shall we move to the movie?
Yes, let's do so.
Okay, so as you mentioned, we get an opening scene, which is Scar versus Joryu Kamanchi. What a great name.
So good.
Very similar.
Scar. You know who Scar is? The actor.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
Mackenyu. Mackenyu, son of Sunny Chiba.
Oh, right.
Kumar,
we had him on the podcast before.
Yeah, he was on One Piece. He's in One Piece.
He is in One Piece. And Kumar, you're thinking of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Yeah.
Diamond is Unbreakable?
Yeah.
He appeared in that. So we've had him on our podcast before, in a manner of speaking.
Was he right for Scar, though?
He's a bit young.
I feel like the brother, the guy that played his brother, should have been Scar. I'm not sure. Again, maybe it's just because of the size that Arakawa draws him or something like that. I just feel
he's a little small in the movie.
But I was happy. I was happy with.
Yeah, I thought he was all right.
Mackenyu. I think he has a presence.
Mackenyu can do martial arts, which helps.
Yes.
He's a bit young because Scar's supposed to be from a civil war that occurred almost a decade ago.
Okay. Now I don't know if he has the same presence as
how could anyone
father, because I think I know I've talked about this with you, Tim, is that I don't really get starstruck that much, but when I was working at a K1 event at the Budokan, it was like a crossover between K1 and Ichigeki, which is like this whole other thing.
Patrick, I'm going to interrupt. Is this going to be another one of your name-dropping stories?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know it is. Sunny effing Chiba walks in, and I was like, oh man, I want to shake his hand so bad, but I can't breathe or move. So I was just stuck. I was just frozen, like a kanashibari. I was just frozen there going, oh my god, he's so awesome.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
So yeah, I just literally couldn't breathe.
So we're introduced to this character, Scar, that's killing state alchemists. This is the first time we've seen the character in the movie series. After he kills this and we get our opening title, we see Ed and Al trying to get on a train. Ed is going to go for his state alchemist entry exam?
Yeah.
Well, no, he has to. Oh, we know from Shotaka. Yeah, he's reviewed regularly. Yeah,
right. Okay. On the train, they meet Lin by stepping on him, which is a recurring gag in this movie. He's lying on the ground unconscious, and they accidentally step on him.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of different stuff from the manga kind of scrambled here, because the getting on the train kind of reminds you of chapter 4.
Yeah.
And the hijacking takes place, but in the movie, it's less the point of the scene. Then they transplant Lean onto the train, where they met him elsewhere in the manga, and so the other thing, I thought it was funny that the hijacker's target turns out to be Bradley. In the manga, it's Hakudo, who they switched with Bradley in the first movie.
Yeah.
So they've completely swapped places, these two characters, in the movie version.
Yes. Did we see the president in the first movie?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
And I was kind of like, where is he? Why are you using this other guy? Well, because Hakudo died in the first movie, and they didn't want Bradley to die in the first movie. So.
Right. So. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say they wanted to have it both ways. You know, I think maybe with the first film they weren't sure if they were going to get a second.
Well, that's not exactly.
You can't kill Bradley off in the. Sorry, Tim.
Not exactly a reference, but I was feeling like when I got to the end of this one, I was like, "This is Empire Strikes Back." You know, the first movie, they don't know if there's going to be any more, so they kind of end it, and then it turns into a trilogy. So the end of part 2 is a cliffhanger.
Back to the Future
a great
did
reference
that as well.
And also, more recently, the Into the Spider-Verse movies.
Okay, yes, that's right.
When I saw the second one of those, I was pretty pissed off when I was in the cinema and saw that.
Yeah, me too. I had no idea it was going to be continued.
Yeah,
I thought it was the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you?
And that movie just never comes out. Number 3.
How long has it been? It's been like 5 years.
Pretty close.
Did you guys? So the King Bradley casting. Tachi Hiroshi.
I don't have strong opinions about it.
I think he just already brings, like, he's got a huge career from the 70s on, and he's never been out of, like, he's never stopped working, basically.
Okay.
You know? So he brings a lot as far as like his own history to it. So I think if you even if you don't know the series, you know that this is an important character
Got
like
it.
right away.
Got
Right.
it. So he
Yeah.
hasn't been cast because he looks particularly like the character from the
Right.
manga. Here, he's been cast for the gravitas that he brings
Yeah, but
as
I mean,
having a long career.
acting wise, he doesn't. There's other actors that would have had a lot more. I don't know.
Well, he hasn't been
Uh,
given a lot to work with, has he? He just sort of has a few lines where he's required to be avuncular and in charge,
Yeah.
and then he has his action scene, and that's pretty much it. Does he have a bigger role in the third film?
yes.
Oh, well, then tune in next time to find out.
Yeah, well, some of the characters who got short shrift here, I was thinking it's probably setting up for the next movie.
Right.
Like Hohenheim, he has like 2 scenes in this movie. We hardly found out anything
And
about him.
But this particular actor,
and
like he's almost always plays like I mean he's been some action stuff like Abu Naideka and stuff like that, but he's it's more of a light movie, like more comedy,
Mhm.
adjacent type stuff. I've never seen him as a bad guy before.
Oh,
Mhm.
I see. Well, while we're on the subject of the action, it's this first scene accepted. It's generally pretty turgid and kind of
Yeah, it's a lot of
sluggish.
martial arts. I did like the
And
CGI this time. I mean, I liked it last time except for the zombies at the end.
Uh,
Um, but I did think the CGI was good. I was once again impressed by Al. The armor looks really good
yeah,
throughout.
looks great.
mhm.
Um,
The CGI is generally pretty good, but there's a lot of standing around.
Mm.
And I mean, I can
yes.
see that they're trying to reproduce the kind of, I suppose, Arakawa's panel work, where you've got,
Oh yeah, very much so. There are like so many places are like this is exactly the panel from the comic. It's
Yeah.
like total
yeah,
fan service. Like yes, yes.
but it
But I
makes no
mean,
sense that real people would stand
Well,
in
that's
frame like that.
manga for you.
Whereas in a manga world, they can. Yeah, no, I completely agree. They absolutely can in manga, but they've attempted to reproduce it in the film,
well,
and you just understand why doesn't he take one step further and like punch the guy?
mm, well, I think there's a lot of choices that were made to like I don't know. I keep thinking about like Sin City and what's his name? Oh my gosh, Mickey Rourke saying, "I
Mm,
want the Marv nose. Like I want the nose that goes right from the forehead down to and like kind of how far manga do you make it?" And I
mm,
think that Sori decided like he's gonna lean pretty hard into none of the hair is realistic.
Oh yeah,
It's
this is
gonna
Dick
be
Tracy level.
manga hair. Yeah. It's gonna be manga hair. Uh, and so I don't know. I can't watch it without thinking about like how long in the morning does it take Scar to get his hair like that before he can
yeah.
go out killing alchemists? You know.
Oh yeah, and they put some bronzer on Mackenyu as well.
Hmm.
Although I think actually the hair looks better in this movie.
Apparently, a
Uh,
lot of Ishvalans wrote angry letters.
In seriousness, even though Yamada-kun, he dyed his hair for the first film, but
Mm.
everyone said he looked like he was wearing a wig anyway. And
Mhm.
maybe he got upset about that because in this one, he's let his roots grow in and it looks way more real.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah.
Same with the actor that plays Hohenheim and father, who is his surname is Uchino, forget his first name. But he's also got
Yeah.
they've just done a better job of blending the hair,
Hmm.
Mm.
and he
Um,
looks the part. It looks
Mhm.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seiyo Uchino. Yeah,
Thank you. Seiyo
he's
Uchino.
got a great face. He just has that actor has a great face.
Great casting.
Yeah.
Unlike you might recall that Ryosuke Yamada was a fan of the comics. Uh, Uchino, on the other hand, had never heard of them.
Huh.
Well, it's interesting because his performance as Ed's father is a little bit warmer than the comics. Like when he comments on Ed's hair, "Oh, you're growing out your hair. You look like me now," which is a scene right out of the manga. In the manga, he pulls out Ed pulls out the tie from his hair and lets it loose, and Dad just has that same blank look on his face. Like
well, in the manga, Ed braids his hair,
right,
which you can't do on the spur of the moment in the movie. Right. So just unties it.
But the father isn't like, "Oh, that's funny." But here he actually has a smile on his face, like a wry smile, when he sees that the kid is trying to not be like him. There's a bit of warmth in there, which is different from what's in the manga.
Do you think, and I'm talking diegetically, but do you think that Hohenheim is recognizing that, like, he doesn't want to be like the dwarf in the flask?
The dwarf in the flask.
Basically gave him his immortality. And so, like, it's just a natural thing to rebel against,
Could well be, because he is doing that, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. As we'll find out.
Okay, so on this train, terrorists attack. They want to kill the presidents on the train, but
they want to take him prisoner.
Take him prisoner, sorry, that's right. So they can have some of their POWs released. But turns out Lin's a martial artist, and there's a big fight with terrorists. They take out the terrorists, but then Lin wants to take out Ed and Al because he wants the secret to immortality, and he thinks that they
They know about. He won't let them go after the hijackers until they tell him all the information he wants about the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah.
And Lin has his 2 ninja assassin types with him. There's a big fight with them up on the roof of the train, but then suddenly Envy comes to the rescue of Ed.
Which I was at first surprised about. I thought, is Envy just constantly around?
Yes, it is weird. It is weird, but it's a good choice for a 2-hour movie because you need to.
Well, Kumar, in the movie's defense, we find out that Bradley is on the train, so it does make sense for Envy to be around.
But it also makes narrative sense because you need to set up how they're going to lure out the homunculi later when you know that they will show up to protect Ed and Al. So this is giving us an establishing of that. So
now, did anybody kind of feel though that Lanfan was a little bit quick with the hand grenades?
Way too quick. And also, where was she getting them from?
Oh well, all over. I guess. Had them.
I thought she was well cast. Actually, that actress was good, and I thought she's a good actress in this as well.
Now, the end of the scene, like after after they catch the hijackers, then there's a bomb that blows up the brakes of the train, so it won't stop, and Ed and Al get pushed off the train, and this was the part of the movie that made me roll my eyes the most because like Ed is like, who knows how far away from the end of the line at the station, and yet somehow he can see that he is succeeding in bending the track up so that the train will slow down. But we don't really get a clear idea of what he's seeing, which is probably nothing because the train went into the station building.
Yeah, maybe it didn't work. How do they know it worked?
I don't know. I was actually surprised at how close they were to the station because I thought it was much. I thought they maybe had, for some reason, I thought they had more time because I assumed that they were going to get back on the train.
They're out in the country and the station's in town. Like,
it's Central Station. It's
didn't
in
work
the middle
for me.
of this. Yeah, no, I didn't. Also, I don't. What exactly is the tensile strength of steel? Can you have an unsupported steel rail go right up into the ceiling? And will it bear the weight of a train?
I don't know. Once you start asking those questions, Superman can't hold up a building that's falling over without, just having those pieces of bricks against his hands and the whole building crash around him.
Good point.
But once they get to the station, the president emerges and he knows who Edward is, which Edward is very, what's the word? He's like
chuffed. To use a British
now
word.
We get a debrief at headquarters, and Roy Mustang tells Edward all about the Ishbalan War. Wouldn't he know all this? This is a weird exposition dump here of information.
It's not the weirdest one.
Yeah, but
I think in the manga there's a similar information dump about the war fairly early on.
Right. Okay.
I think it's set up the same too, with Mustang telling Ed and Al about it.
Yeah,
Right.
it's very possible that they, had the only reason that they are in the military is because they want to be able to
find the
use
Philosopher's Stone,
alchemy and and use those resources, and maybe they don't know a whole lot about.
Yeah, fair enough.
So there's a scene where Mustang has asked his troops to keep an eye on Ed and Al and keep them out of trouble, and Ed and Al are trying to give them the slip, which, for one thing, this is one example where we actually had some humor in this movie, which was virtually non-existent in the first one. But the other thing I noticed about that scene is that there's a street sign in some unfamiliar language, and I'm not even sure if that fits with how we see writing in the manga. Patrick, do you remember?
Yeah, definitely like the same kind of writing is sometimes shown, and it's I don't know if we see it in this movie, but there's a scene with Graves, like Ed's mom, and that is written in English and in whatever that language is.
It might be. I have a note here. It might be a alchemical script. So there's a specific alchemical script that I know is used in the manga because I made a note of it for the last time we recorded and didn't mention it, called The Language of the Magi. And a script derived from Hebrew used to write alchemical formulae.
Well, would they use that on street signs?
Yeah, it was a street sign where I was noticing it.
Arakawa just happily uses stuff that she's read in her alchemy in her textbook about Western alchemy that she's lifted so many things from. It's possible that it's that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at the sample on Wikipedia. It looks similar, I think, to what I noticed in the street sign.
The Magi script?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, well, it could well be. Citation needed.
So at this same report where he learns about the war, this is where they reveal that Scar, this guy, is out killing state alchemists as revenge. He's an Ishbalan. Okay, so Ed and Al sneak out and they step on another person now. To coincidentally meet two critical characters by pure coincidence in a huge city, a metropolis, and step on them while they're both unconscious, it was asking a lot, I will say.
Although it happens in the manga, they're both first seen lying face down, but they're discovered by different people in the manga.
Okay.
Mei-chan doesn't meet Ed and Al right away.
I mean, I don't know. Like, when I lived in Tokyo, I stepped on people all the time.
People who had just come in from Xing and were dying of hunger. Yeah.
Yeah.
People that later became key people in your life that were...
That's right.
Like,
and
looking
also
for a job.
That's what you do. You step on them.
Royalty as well. Literal royal members of the royal family of Xing.
That's right. You step on them. You feed them. Friends. That's.
Oh yeah. Also, Lin has two eating gags in here where he steals food from Ed. Was that in the manga?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That felt familiar.
Pretty much.
Okay.
And we get a good dose of Ed's hating to be called short in this movie, which there was like one tiny reference to it in the first one. So I was glad to see that here.
And I was very happy to have some of the humor back.
Yes, definitely. This film definitely handled the humor a lot better than the first one, which felt very desultory and abandoned it very quickly.
Yeah. I think Mei. Obviously, I guess they couldn't cast a little kid to play Mei-chan. This actress. Okay, we've got a CGI panda, manga panda, basically. I don't know. Feels like a weird mismatch to me having this actress that's in her 20s.
CGI
CGI panda.
I was a little unhappy with the casting there. Like,
Are you,
not
Tim? Are you
quite.
talking about the casting of the panda? What are you talking about?
No, of Mei Chang. Yeah, the panda was
Because
fine. Looked
I,
precisely like in the manga.
yeah, but I wanted more. I wanted more Xiaomei.
Well, yeah, not enough of her in here, and she she gets lost like in the manga, and Al is carrying her around, but for a very brief time in the movie, much shorter than in the manga.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Xiaomei only gets called a cat once, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she calls him Chippy, and Ed freaks out and chases her up the street. And then, pure coincidence, Scar.
This is not like the fourth coincidence
What a
so far, and
coincidence!
not the last.
Scar, right? It was a big city full of people.
What's he doing? Is he just having an afternoon stroll?
Yeah.
Why would he be out in the street?
Looking for state alchemists.
Yeah, that's it. He's just hoping to run into an alchemist.
I think whenever you have this many coincidences in the row, you have to look around and like, am I in a movie?
Mm-hmm.
It has a short
exactly.
running time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this one, yeah.
Or General Hospital. I mean, that show, when I was watching it, it just ran on coincidence. Without coincidence, they had no story.
Yeah.
I think you could say the same with Three's Company.
Well, they say isn't there's like a I don't know if it was a Stephen King. Somebody said like in history you're allowed one coincidence per novel. That's like about as much as you can get away with. And we get a lot in a row here. Yeah, so Scar is like, hey, you're a state alchemist, and he starts attacking them. He blows Al apart, like blows his arm and leg off or something like that, and also destroys.
He blows his arm off specifically. Yeah.
He takes off Ed's arm. Yeah, Ed's arm also gets destroyed.
Shatters it to pieces.
Yeah,
right.
Oh yeah, he sort of busts up the middle of Alphonse.
Yeah, the right side, like his torso and his his arm.
But fortunately, the army shows up, and now we meet Armstrong.
Yeah.
Who we talked about with his hairdo. It looks like it belongs in like Robin Williams' Popeye. Like just so odd. Yeah, and he takes his shirt off, and he's
terrible. At what point do you just leave? At this point, you just have to ask, why didn't you just leave this character out?
Yeah.
He's really not that important.
That's right.
Well, yeah, I mean, he doesn't get nearly as much development as in the manga.
As he does in the manga, true.
But it'd be weird because his sister is kind of important in the next part, and I think maybe it'd be weird to have her without him.
They get to the north in the third movie?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Which isn't
I'm just watching it and thinking, why did you even put this guy in?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was desperate to see, I mean, a tall-ish Japanese man in a bulky outfit.
But in the manga, I find him very important because he's still in the military, but he's like, no, I don't do that anymore. Like he says no to certain orders. You know, that's why his sister is like, you're such a wuss.
Just say no to genocide.
Yeah. It's so I kind of like he's a conscientious objector, basically.
There's a very strange scene in the sewers here where Scar and Lynn and Lynn's people and Envy and Gluttony show up. And it's I don't know if it's coincidence that they all met up or Scar he lives in the sewers or what. And they just happen to meet at this one point, and it seems like there's going to be a big battle. And it seems like there was a big battle but we don't see it, right? Am I?
Yeah, there's an This is straight out of the manga. Well, the big difference is that in the manga it's gluttony and lust,
right?
But in the movie, lust is dead already, right. So they replace her with envy.
Okay, but there is in the manga. Did we not see the battle?
There's an explosion, and then we go to a different scene.
Oh,
yeah,
did we get
and then
the explosion here?
Yeah, there was an explosion in the movie, and then they changed scenes just like in the manga.
Right, okay.
And then in the manga, you don't see Scar for a while after that.
Right. We meet the president and his cute kid, Selim. Very cute little actor there.
Yeah.
And we just see that the president's a really nice family man in this scene, basically. Now, Ed and Al go to get... Basically, Ed needs a new arm, so he goes to Pinako and Winry. I don't think we saw this Pinako in the first movie, right?
No.
I mean,
this scene is from chapter 9 of the manga, but we're finally getting to it here.
Okay, so they've got an actress that's not old enough.
What's that, Jordan?
I was going to say, they've put Winry in a comics accurate costume.
Oh yeah,
that tube top.
That tube top. And I must say that the actress that plays Winry is quite busty for a Japanese lass. And what in the comic is quite chaste, in the film.
Chaste? I don't think so. Certainly, a lot of fanboys don't think so.
Well, you know.
Okay, perhaps
action-wise, the action is very chaste, but design-wise, yeah. I also had a reaction when I saw. I don't mean to be crude, but I was like, oh, that's why they cast her. It's kind of they wanted her to be comics accurate.
I think she's quite good. I think this actress is really good in this. The scene where she breaks down.
But yeah, the crying was good. In some ways, I still am not really sold on her. But yeah, the crying scene. I mean, I got emotional myself.
That scene was good. Okay, now Pinako, this actress it's like kind of trying to cast Master Roshi in a Dragon Ball live action movie. You're just not gonna get the right
someone with that physiognomy,
that looks as
the hair looks pretty good.
They've done the hair.
Perfect hair.
Yeah, they've done
that.
Wait,
when was this movie made?
2022.
2022.
So 3. Oh my God, I can't do math. She was 70.
This actress, really?
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I take back what I said.
She's aged well. She's aged well.
Yeah. I mean, it's high praise for this lady. You should send her a letter. Come
on. So she builds while she's building his arm. Ed goes off into the graveyard to see the cemetery to see the grave of his mother. And now meets his dad, who we did not have any mention of in the first movie.
We've never.
Iota. We didn't know he had beef with this guy at all, but he immediately lays into it.
It's just rushed. Yeah.
So is it clear in this movie what the beef is?
Well, he says at the gravesite, he says, yeah, you took off on our mom and she died because you ran off or whatever. He says all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, she died because, it was rough for her having to take care of 2 kids on her own. But it's
a blink and you miss it line. We don't get any...
Yeah.
We don't get any depth. There's no sense of parental abandonment or anything like that. Edward is angry at everybody. Yeah. So when he's yelling at Hohenheim at this grave scene, if you didn't, you would just dismiss it. Like, oh, Edward's angry again. What did this guy call him? Small? You don't have any.
I also felt like during the comic that this was, a little boy's trying to make sense of the world, looking for somebody to blame. For his mom being sick, and not necessarily that being the actual reason necessarily, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But definitely
none of that ambiguity or depth is present in the film, because we get a blink and you miss it single line, really.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Says you left and our mum died, and then they just move on.
Hang on, here I've got the line. He says something like, "What are you doing here, you jerk?" He says, don't you even know how hard it was? Do you even know how hard it was for mom to raise us on her own after you left her? So he doesn't actually say it was so hard that she died.
Right.
Yeah.
What can you take from that line? He could have left before they were born. We don't know. I mean, the fact that he recognizes him is one thing.
Well, but there is a photo of him with younger Ed and Al.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something that I did that in scenes like this, whenever somebody uses like an exclamation or an interjection or something, is when I thought the subtitles weren't always my favorite. As like translation wise, I like there's a couple of oh my goodnesses in there that I thought was weird, but yeah, it was kind of brain scratchy once in a while. Overall, I think the story came across fine as far as like what was being said and what was being expressed in the subtitles, but yeah, once in a while I felt
Yeah.
It must happen constantly for you. Was there a specific in this scene that something that didn't come across, right?
You know what? I should have written it down. It was
Something happened. Like another indictment on this film. The translation is needed. Oh man. Oh man.
But you know what? Like I said, overall, I thought like the story came across. It wasn't like this translation would make you think something different than what's being said. It was just like maybe that's not the best choice. Like maybe it needed an editor or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I caught one or two things also where I could make out what the Japanese was, and it didn't quite fit the subtitle.
This time when the father leaves, he doesn't just say, get out of the country, it's going to be destroyed. He says something about the city of Xerxes.
Xerxes, yeah.
Xerxes, he says something about, just like the city of Xerxes was destroyed, this country's going to be destroyed. And this is a clue to Ed.
Al. Oh, Al, yeah, sorry.
That Ed. He should go there. And I don't know how far away this place is, but he's just like, he just goes from
He goes there
house.
in a day. He went there that Arvo. He caught the express train to Xerxes in the desert.
Game of Thrones style.
Yeah,
very much so.
Was he riding a camel? Or was that a horse?
No.
That was a scene with Scar in the desert.
He just appears in Xerxes.
Yeah.
In the very next scene.
I thought I saw Ed riding through the desert.
Oh,
no way! I'd remember that. I'm pretty sure
there is a scene of somebody riding through the desert. No, it's Scar. It is Ed. No, it is Ed. You're right.
That's what I thought.
Really?
Okay. So this is a vast desert. Like this is like the Sahara. I'm looking at this thing. I'm looking at the shot right now, and it's this huge Lawrence of Arabia shot. So it's impossible to think that he went through the meadowlands, the farmland with the cows, and crossed a desert. Yeah.
It's Game of Thrones style teleporting, as Patrick pointed out. I mean, those of us that have read the manga, who is everybody that's seen this movie, know that there's a whole bit where they go to Xerxes, and it takes them days.
In that case, Armstrong goes with Ed.
It's part of their gambit to secrete away the officer whose death.
Yeah, Maria Ross.
That's it.
So it's completely different kind of circumstances. But he does go out there and he sees the ruin. They got to get him to the ruins.
But also, do they? I mean, is this scene really important without the Maria Ross subplot? Do you really have to visit Xerxes and see that?
Well, I mean, I think that the design that he realizes is not a transmutation circle is. I assume, Patrick, that gets explained more in the third movie.
Yeah, you get a lot. You get more Xerxes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we need to set up Xerxes because we need to know about the fate of Xerxes because it leads directly into the fate of Amestris. Okay.
In fact, I think the title of the third movie is More Xerxes, More Furious, or something like that. I don't know.
But this is a scene where some of the survivors that are still living here among the rubble of the city reveal to Ed that...
No, those aren't survivors of Xerxes. Those are Ishvalan refugees.
Okay. Yeah, Ishvalan refugees.
They reveal to Ed that that Winry's parents were killed by someone they were treating, a patient.
Who had a scar in his forehead and tattoos on his arms.
This is how he figures that. This is how he gets this piece of information in this scene.
Just once in my lifetime, I want to meet somebody with a scar that beautiful. Like one of these people that have a scar that goes over the eye and continues under, or
Did it remind you of Racer X? from Speed Racer.
Little bit.
For me. Okay, Scar wakes up after his incident in the sewers, and his master shows up. And
Yeah, odd. I kept waiting for it to be Envy.
Yeah, no.
This,
I don't know how his master is there or what, but I actually like this scene because they have a conversation here about trying to end the cycle of violence. You just have to give up. At some stage, one of you just has to stop.
Endure.
Good point. This is part of our effort to make Scar the main character of this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's named The Revenge of Scar.
Yeah,
right? So Scar, we have to introduce something like this character. So
and I do like
Scar
this conversation. And
moral
earlier,
crisis.
when we had that big fight between Ed and Al and Scar when he lost his arm and stuff, there's this bizarre moment where Ed just gives up. And he's like, go ahead and kill me. And then there's this weird heart-to-heart between Ed and Al after the fight where Al's like, you say you were about to give up and we promised each other we were going to get our bodies back. And the music's doing all the heavy lifting where the music's like swelling. It's supposed to be a very touching scene that's like 15 minutes into the movie or whatever. And it just absolutely was not working for this theme. And this scene worked a lot better.
Sure. Did you guys, do you guys know about Buto performance, this kind of performance art where people hang from buildings and they're painted totally white, this Japanese performance art? It was kind of a little bit more well-known thing, I think, in the 80s, because I'd seen some articles about it back then. But this guy who plays the Scar's master, he was one of these guys that would
interesting.
Like hang. Yeah, and he's got I know he's cast just for the face.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got this face.
He also had a face that was drawn by Arakawa.
Yeah, he doesn't need any makeup. That's how he looks. Is like...
Yeah. Ed comes back to Central and accidentally kind of runs into Selim, and Selim's like, oh, you're that little alchemist. And he gets mad and he starts pulling his cheeks. This is a scene I actually laughed at.
Good scene. Yep, I agree. I've got it in my notes. Good scene with Selim Bradley.
Yeah. I was using Google to try to track down scenes that I couldn't find flipping through the books. And sometimes the AI gave me accurate information and sometimes it didn't. But it suggested that this scene was from the anime, from Brotherhood.
Oh.
And that he meets Selim differently in the manga. I couldn't track down where it is in the manga or where they meet. But
yeah, it's not in these 5 volumes. Yeah.
No, we don't meet Selim at all, I think, in these 5 volumes.
Yeah.
No, that we do see the family scene.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, Selim doesn't show up that much early on.
So in their hotel room, that's when Ed and Al come up with this plan to make themselves conspicuous so that they will lure out Scar, which will in turn lure out the homunculi. Lin comes in, he wants in on the plan too, and we finally learn a bit about the organization of Xing. This comes much earlier in the manga. It's in volume 11, where it explains
virtually when they first meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we find out he's one of the 40 princes.
Yeah.
And that the emperor is dying. He wants to buy him off with the secrets of immortality so as to improve his status and also position himself closer to the throne. We've also found out, almost as soon as we meet the Xing people, that they can sense homunculi.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or perhaps they can sense philosopher's stones.
Right.
Much.
Yeah, well, Envy really sets off that sense because they're asking like, how many souls do you have inside you?
So he's an integral part of their plan. Actually, I mean, once he arrives, he can sense a homunculus, and then
because he basically he can sense presences, souls, I guess, or spirits, and so he's just, in other words, like. We talk about this when we're talking about Parasite, like Seiju, is how people have this sense that like, and it shows up in Japanese movies all the time, like, oh, that person wants to kill me. I sense it.
Bloodlust.
Or like,
yes, they're on the other side of a door, and they can sense bloodlust. Right. Somebody wants to
That's
kill
right.
me. Yeah.
So he can sense people, but now that, oh, wait a minute, this one body has a bunch of people in it, so that's weird.
So do you think, yeah. So is it not specifically that it's not Xing-Yi's alchemy, but it might just be a characteristic of people from
it's
Xing?
not alchemy. I think it's
right,
like
because
that
the others
Xing ninjutsu.
The purification arts.
Well, I mean, because the purification arts versus Amestrian alchemy kind of dichotomy works on the basic Orientalist kind of concept where you have a rationalist West and a more spiritualist East. So you have healing arts on the East. And
no, I think it's more of the Far East movie, like kung fu movie, chambara movie, where people just sense.
Yes.
You know,
that seems so, because we know that Lin himself and his ninja don't practice alchemy. It's made.
They need hand grenades.
Yes, yes. So you're right. It's more a quality of their ninjutsu than their alchemy. Okay.
This sequence where Ed is fixing stuff in town one after the next to draw attention to himself, tries to play it as comedy. I don't think it works. The cutting from panel to panel in a manga works. Here it's
I kind of liked it.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, following on from the Selim scene, I thought the film was striking the right comedic tone.
Okay.
Maybe not. That's fine.
Okay.
It's lighthearted anyway. Yeah.
Yes.
I did like it how I did kind of like how Ed did the thing like the ta-da.
Yes.
After he'd reconstructed the food cart, it did look like a panel.
Yeah.
It is a panel. It's straight out of the manga.
Right. I'm easily amused, I suppose.
Okay, there's one thing I definitely wanted more of in these movies, and that's Ed's terrible design sense when he makes stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think that is one of the most hilarious things in this whole series.
Yeah, and underappreciated.
Is the kid in class who's always drawing the heavy metal logos, and it's that
he's always
kind
putting
of
horns on
sense.
stuff. Yeah, over engineering things. Yeah, it's hard to pull off in a film, isn't it? But it's really good in the comic.
I mean, I think he makes a car somewhere in the manga, and the car is so ridiculous.
Yeah.
As you know, it's like, why does it need spikes? Why does this car need spikes?
Yeah. But Scar...
Well, it works, and Scar shows up.
Scar shows up. There's a big, alchemist fight with Scar.
This is like the whole final third of the movie. The homunculi also show up.
Yeah, and also Winry shows up because she forgot a bolt. They've came up with this reason in the movie, which is she forgot to put one bolt in his arm. His arm was working fine. I don't think it needs.
No, that's in the comic as
well.
It
is in the comic. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, his automail doesn't malfunction in the film. It does in the comic.
Yeah, in the comic, it does fall apart because it's missing that bolt.
Right.
But here, it's just a reason to get her to this big scene. But it's not enough because we have the most contrived piece of info dumping I've ever seen in any movie, perhaps.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was struck by Scar is just standing there while Ed and Winry are communicating, and Winry is realizing what happened, and
also she's reaching for that gun. She's reached for that gun for a long time. I'm like, Scar, can't he do some alchemy to defend himself or something?
Yeah, no one ever does. They're just standing there. But you're anticipating me. We have to get Winry there first.
Yeah.
So Winry is running around with her bolt, and she stops in front of two people. There's two people streets and streets away from the fight. And these people say, have you heard? That guy Scar is fighting with those alchemists a couple of streets from here.
Doesn't he name the Fullmetal Alchemist specifically?
Yes.
Yes, he does. How can he possibly know that? It's so ridiculous.
This is why I stopped reading One Piece. Is because of the bystanders going, "Oh wow, he's doing the blah 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 punch, which he hasn't used in years," or they're just like, no.
But also,
they have all the data. They're the manager from Slam Dunk. They have all the data on every person in the world.
Right.
well, why are they just standing in the street talking about this? Shouldn't they be sheltering indoors?
Yeah, or running away, or yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
if
but
it's
according
too
to my
close, I heard
notes,
it.
according to my notes, as long as I'm 3 streets away, I'm okay.
They saw the script. Yeah. According to the script, they're fighting a couple of streets from here right now. Haven't you heard? And so Winry just like overhears this and goes to the fight.
Yeah,
like,
just the right place, right time.
Sori couldn't think of a better way to get Winry to this fight than having her overhear people talking about it while it was happening.
Well, because of the technology, you can't have her walk by a TV shop and see it in the window.
like Fantastic Four.
I don't know. If you have God. I don't know. If you have some Ed or Al like do some alchemy and have some huge cone-like spikes shooting up out of the street.
Do something like that.
Have or just dust cloud appear. Don't call me short. Or,
have a huge dust cloud appear. Have Winry look at it and like shake her head like, oh, I know exactly who that is. That's got to be.
Or just make up some lore so that she has the bolt on a string and it's like magnetically.
She can do divination, right?
Make it magnetically pointing toward where it's supposed to be.
Any of those would have been better than what we got.
Actually, fun fact, that bolt was actually Tetsuro from Galaxy Express 999.
You know what I thought of Galaxy Express when they made the rail go up at the start of the movie.
Right.
Nice.
By the way, during this fight, there's a slow motion bit where Ed runs up the wall and the English subtitle on Netflix is aching violin music. Which, as I mentioned before, the music's doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this movie, or at least it's trying to.
For sure. So this fight goes on forever. There's an awful lot of standing around when people could be doing anything else. Then we have the big reveal where Winry overhears that Scar was the person that killed her parents.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but I think people who are raised well, they know to stay still until somebody finishes the exposition.
It's just standing there with their
It's just good upbringing. Yeah.
Oh dear.
But the president shows up, Lynn shows up, the homunculi show up.
Now this was something that bugged me a bit. So in the manga, you have these two fights going on simultaneously, but in the movie they wrap up the whole thing with Scar and then they jump to Bradley and the other fight, and it felt like tonally it was kind of weird because you're winding down from one fight and here's another fight. And it made me feel like the director wasn't quite up to the challenge of having the two fights happening simultaneously. I think it would have. I mean, I kind of understand why they separated them, but I don't think it works well.
I agree. I agree. That occurred to me as well. I don't know. Maybe Sori-san, I don't know what he's thinking, but I think that if we'd cut between these two fights at a fast pace,
that would help with the problem with them standing around facing each other for a long time.
For sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, also,
luckily we know a guy that knows Fumihiko Sori. So next time you see him, Patrick, please pass him out.
It's been a while. I think I still have 2 of his business cards somewhere.
Wicked.
Also, why don't the bystanders on the street, why don't the street merchants know that this fight is happening? Like, hey, did you hear that the president is a homunculi? And,
have you heard that the president is fighting a prince from a neighboring country?
They know, Kumar. They know. They know. They have it all in their data sheet.
Oh, they're in the
So this
they're part of the conspiracy. They're in with the generals. They know these random street.
Something we didn't mention from the manga. One of my favorite bits is that Lan Fan is injured. And Lynn is carrying her away, and she's like, "I'm slowing you down," and she cuts off her own arm, and then they tie the arm to a dog,
damaged in the fight,
and the dog, the trail of blood leads
Do you know what though? It does it. I think. Okay, I hate It is cool, and I hate to nitpick, but this feels like it was left over from when maybe gluttony was the one following, because the president uses he doesn't smell things.
Mm.
He doesn't. He's
Sure.
got the ultimate eye, not
Sure.
the ultimate nose.
Yeah.
So
It
maybe
should have
he's
been.
following the drops of blood. I don't know.
It
I'm
really
always
should have been gluttony that was tricked by that, not the
Tim
Führer.
knows I'm always trying to Star Trek like
Hand wave
problems
stuff,
away.
yeah.
Yeah, just trying to,
This wasn't
oh,
the
the
arm you're
Klingons and
looking
the
for.
Romulans, they're friends. That's why they have the same ships now.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I think it's still cool, but I think it would have been worked better if it were sorry,
That
gluttony.
makes sense.
Yes,
That
but I
makes
do love
sense.
the idea of her tying her arm to the dog.
I
The
do.
dog
I do
one.
too.
Yeah, yeah, it's such a great image.
Yeah.
I'm just
The-
nitpicking.
Yeah, the whole thing about another Star Wars reference is like a lot of people lose their arm.
Their arm. Yeah, in the
Too.
first movie, C-3PO, and then the guy in the bar, and
Yep.
yeah.
That's right. A lot of arms. Just
There
Remember
used to be a
Luke and
website,
Empire?
The Missing Arms of Star Wars, back in the 90s, early internet days. Yeah. So they managed to capture Gluttony, and then Hawkeye shows up with Winry in a vehicle. I liked Hawkeye in this movie.
Except, why do they refuse to ever call her Hawkeye?
That was a problem.
And that becomes a problem later.
Yeah.
In the war flashback. I'll talk about that when we get to it.
Yeah. So they take Lan Fan away. By the way, Lan Fan actress very good at acting in pain. Fixing up her arm.
Yeah, that's a tough scene.
Very
Well,
palpable.
I like this. I like the Hawkeye actress as well. It's like this is probably
Yeah.
the thing I've liked her the most in.
And I liked how in the scene she's dressed differently, just like she is in the manga, with the glasses and her hair down.
Yes. Yeah, she's undercover, right?
Yeah.
This is all like off the books for whatever reason. There's some heart-to-hearts here with Lan Fan and the old guy, the old ninja. Meanwhile, Mei-chan is fixing up Scar, because Scar's been injured again. And she's healing his leg. She says, I have to stop the bleeding. And she uses magic. But it's nighttime. And they left this battle in daytime. So she decided I need to stop this bleeding 4 hours later? Like...
Good point. Maybe it took Scar that long to get back to the... It's outside of town, isn't it? That refugee village.
Yeah.
Good point, though.
Yeah, so now they've got Gluttony tied up in a ball because they managed to catch him, right?
Yeah.
And
well, Lin puts a grenade down his throat.
Right, and while he's regenerating himself, they wrap him up in that steel band.
His own regeneration. I noticed that Al uses train track to make that steel cable to truss up Gluttony so that he'll be imprisoned by his own growing flesh. I hope Al replaced that.
Yeah,
sorry, it replaced those rails.
Might have been a train accident later.
Good point.
And this is where Lean tells Ed Al and Mustang that Bradley appears to be a homunculus because he saw under the eye patch in the fight.
And this
Hey, can I name drop real quick? That guy, the guy who played Gluttony, I went to a big Matsuri festival thing, like I can't even remember the name. It's like a huge shrine. They have a Yasukuni, I think. It was the Yasukuni. And it's a huge festival. And at the time, I was part of like a small group of people that help out smaller towns that don't have as much young people. So they don't have people to carry the heavy mikoshi thing.
Yeah,
it's like a mini
portable
temple,
shrine. Yeah.
Portable shrine. And so in this Yasukuni Jinja thing, they have all these groups that they're supposed to be like from this corner to that corner, you get the front right side, and then you have to switch out because there's so many groups who want to be involved. And and yeah, he was there with his group, and I was there with my group, and but it was, I didn't meet him or anything. It was just like, oh, there's that guy. He's easy to pick out, And but before I could even think about like going saying, like hi, there was a huge fight. So
Whoa.
because like people would like, no, we don't want to relinquish this corner, and so then a fight will happen. So,
did everybody stand around with their guards up for like 15 minutes?
They were like, oh, wait, somebody has to explain their backstory. Everybody freeze. Thousands of people waited.
That's cool, man. That's cool, Patrick.
Okay, so now Hawkeye gives us the backstory of the war, like into more...
Oh, don't forget, we finally got to look at Father.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Briefly.
Do we see that it's the same actor? That's the one that's playing...
I don't think we really saw his face in that scene.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's a reveal for the next film then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we get some flashbacks through Hawkeye, but also generally of stuff that, like with Scar and his brother. We get to see Maze Hughes again, which was a delight because I love this guy. And...
Yeah.
Okay, this is the point.
Okay.
So when Mustang and Hughes are talking and the Ishvalan comes up behind them and about to stab them, and a shot rings out and the Ishvalan falls, and Hughes says that the shooter had the eyes of a hawk.
Yeah.
It's Hawkeye, but since they've never called her Hawkeye, I think it loses some resonance.
Yes, because she's actually wearing a hood up in the sniper's
just as she is in the manga,
and you don't know it's her.
But yeah,
in the manga,
the next scene it is explained, but it would have worked a lot better if they'd been calling her Hawkeye all the time instead of just Lieutenant.
It's where we finally found out where that nickname came from, but here it's the first time we hear the nickname, so it's robbed of all of it.
I do not understand why they never call her Hawkeye. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Maybe they were worried about problems with the Avengers and that Hawkeye. I don't know. Copyright infringement.
The problem was MASH.
Well, there's that one too.
But yeah, so what's the name? Kimberly attacks a bunch of
Sulf.
A bunch of
Ishvalans.
the Ishvalans, including Scar and his brother. And Scar wakes up. He had lost his arm. But
his brother sacrificed himself and his arm to keep Scar alive.
Yeah.
So his brother died, giving up his arm.
That's right. Interestingly, so he wakes up in a rage, and also Winry's parents, who are the doctors, are like, we don't have any sedatives left. So it's actually, it's almost like there's a couple of things that could have prevented their deaths. Like if they had the sedatives.
For sure.
They might have calmed him down and he wouldn't have killed them and stuff like that. I don't know if they're
straight out the manga too.
Right. Yeah.
No, it's straight out the manga because we know that they're short on, and that scene makes it into the film as well. We know they're short on medicines because we've heard their delivery guy say, "I don't have as much. We're not going to have as much coming up. You guys should leave now." And they say, "No, we can't leave." And we know they're short of meds. So yeah, I agree. And I mean, it's pretty clear he kills them in a confused rage.
Yeah, because he sees
responsible.
He sees his brother's arm and thinks his brother is there, and then he realizes it's attached to himself, and he blames the Emestrians for
pretty
this.
Much the most horrible experience you could ever have.
Yeah,
and then he in a blind rage he kills the nearest Emestrians who happen to be the doctors that saved him.
Yeah.
It's a different act from the acts that he performs later, where he goes on a deliberate serial killing. Kind of rampage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mention that because this is the act that he needs to seek forgiveness for.
Right.
In the kind of ending of the movie.
Right.
This part now, I don't know that this happens in the manga. I didn't really remember it. I couldn't find it where Xiaomei and Scar are hanging out in this old abandoned building, and Ed and Al find them. I feel like it was just kind of kludged together for the movie to get them where they needed to go.
Yeah, well, basically, Al sees Mei Chang on the street. He has the panda. Al has the panda, right? And the panda runs off and finds Mei Chang. They just coincidentally are very nearby each other. And Al hides around a corner, but then because they know that she's been fixing up Scar, she showed up at that battle, they follow her to where Scar is. This is how they find Scar in the movie version. I don't remember how they found him in the manga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Tune in next time.
But the scene where then after this, there's a fight that happens here, and then Winry shows up with Mustang and Hawkeye, and the scene between Winry and Scar. I feel like this is in the manga, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, but it's weird that they just show up at this other place, which is very far. Like, how did they know where the place was? I thought Al had followed them to this warehouse.
Right. Sure. This is invented for the film.
Yeah.
If Scar apologizes to Winry, it didn't happen in the volumes that Kumar and I read this week, 11 to 15.
Yeah, it might be
perhaps
later.
It might happen later. But yes, it feels a little out of character for him this early in his arc. But because this film is called The Revenge of Scar, we need to tie up his kind of like character resolution in a bow by the end.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's physically weird for Winry, Hawkeye, and Roy Mustang to show up at this abandoned warehouse.
Well, I think Ed says, "Why did you bring Winry?" And Winry says, "Because I told them to," and that's all the explanation we get.
Yeah, I mean, apparently they somehow contacted the military. But then Winry insisted
and then
Winry
was nearby.
What was that movie?
And climbed aboard.
What was that movie where like people will whip out the script and go, "It's like it's right here in the script." That's why.
Feels like that's what's going on in this movie.
Right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on here. It's this movie.
Yeah, I was kind of reminded just by talking about that of. I saw a post about Lord of the Rings, which was like the National Lampoon parody book of Lord of the Rings, and then where one character realizes like there's more than half of the book left, and so we have a long way to go. Because if you look at the readers, the amount of book that's left in the reader's right hand right now, we have a long way to go, or something like that.
But Gluttony also has escaped and comes to this place. So again, he knew where to show up. I don't think this is near the house where all those people were, right? Am I right? This abandoned warehouse is very distant, I'm assuming, from the house where they were healing L'Enfant and where they had Gluttony tied up. And yet now everybody has showed up at this warehouse, including Gluttony.
There's not much of a sense of a map. You're right in this movie. Like
it's like they're in another room. Like when Gluttony showed up, I was like, "Wait, are they in the same house?"
Yeah, Xerxes is right next to this warehouse. Is right next to the train station in Central. Is right next to the military HQ. It's all just part of the same block.
It's like all the set for the I Love Lucy, where just this rooms are all right next to each other.
Well, no, or you could say it's
Tim,
like
that reference absolutely dates you, mate.
I would definitely go more for the Doctor Who sets, which is the same hall.
Yeah.
Like just they're running down the hall, they turn the corner, it's the same hall. And they're just going down again and again.
Yes, the same hall.
Yeah, a mistress is 3 blocks. Nobody,
it's just that one
it's
hall
actually
on that
3 blocks.
Set, yeah.
So
you're right. It's absurd that they're all in the same spot. You're right. Sorry, Kumar, go ahead.
But we have a tie-in here with what Scar's master told him, because Winry is kind of practicing that same idea of enduring and not necessarily forgiving, but breaking the cycle of
violence. Yes. Yep.
Now we get the fight with Gluttony, and Envy shows up in the form of a horse that transforms into Envy. I like this as a climax to this movie, and I'll tell you why. Because every movie these days, every science fiction movie, every action movie ends with 9/11 disaster porn, where buildings are blown up, there's massive citywide destruction.
Or a sky beam.
Yeah. Instead, to have 4 people fighting in a yard, great. Great. This is a lost art, this type of climax to a movie. I like that aspect of it.
Cool. No sky beam. That's something.
That's right.
Yeah, the whole protecting. I mean, this is another theme that kind of shows up now and again.
Yeah.
Well, the
Also,
film
a
more
lot
or
of
less
I
ends here,
find
right?
brothers as well. Like a lot of it is about like it's Scar and his brother.
Mm-hmm. And Ed and Al.
And Ed and Al.
Yeah.
And Alex and his scary sister.
Yes. So they end up inside Gluttony, which is another dimension.
So Gluttony has is a prototypical gate of truth or portal of truth.
Portal
so Father
of truth,
has tried to make one of those alchemical gates that leads to ultimate knowledge, but it didn't work, and all it does is lead to kind of like a dimension of knee-deep blood.
Yeah, it's complete dead end. All the things he swallowed over these like buildings and stuff, chairs, everything's in it.
Big chunks of Xerxes because we later find out Gluttony was sent to Xerxes to hide the evidence of the National Transmutation Circle.
Yeah. Okay. And so then the last thing in the movie is that Envy takes his true form, which is this huge creature that has all the faces of the souls in him. And here's the other Star Wars reference.
I'm so ready for this.
It's a line that is not in the manga, translated in my subtitles as, "I've got a feeling this is going to be bad." Which might as well just be, "I've got a bad feeling about this."
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah. And it ends with that cliffhanger and a to be continued.
Tim, I think
continued sign, yeah.
Tim, I think I was excited the first time they reused that line and never again. You know?
Well, yeah, it became a trope, a cliche of the movies, but
the other Star Wars reference, of course, is the Force Ghost parents who showed up when Winry and Scar forgive one another. Or when Scar
and there's Anakin and there's Obi-Wan.
Yeah, they're standing there, yeah. Anakin and Obi-Wan Rockbell are standing there
and their child Yoda.
I think of the like the homunculus CGI characters, I think Gluttony's works the best. Like, it's, even though it's very, just like the manga, it doesn't look manga-like. I mean, it looks like scary. It's scary and, horrific.
I think Envy's shapeshifting was good. That horse transformation was really good. I like that.
Yeah,
he's well cast. That actor is well cast as a person who could be either sex as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure the actor himself would love to hear that.
Well, when you inevitably run into him at a festival, you can pass that
on. Jordan, do we have any trivia about this movie?
Yes. Well, I did my best. There's not a lot of information about this movie online, and such information that is available tends to be amalgamated with information about the third movie because they came out almost at the same time.
Yeah.
This film came out on, I think, May 20th of 2022, and the sequel came out on June 24th. So when people discuss them, it tends to be bundled together. This film didn't make a lot of money. It's hard to find any exact figures about what it did make. But it probably made around or slightly less than $1 million US.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, it only had a release in Japan.
Yeah.
Bear that in mind. Because it was released on streaming services in other markets.
Yeah.
But even so, that's pretty small potatoes when you consider that the top box office films in Japan that year, which were both also manga adaptations, a One Piece film and a Jujutsu Kaisen film, each made more than 10 billion yen. And in fact, the One Piece film made something close to 19 billion yen.
Right. I wonder if the word on movie one was so bad that nobody wanted to go see the other two.
I have a piece of trivia. The kid that played Selim, he's now 173 centimeters tall.
I thought you were going to say it was your son.
No, no,
You're gonna say you met him. You met him down the street,
he's
like in the
tall.
in a 7-Eleven. Oh man, he's taller than I am.
He's like
That's always
17
the way.
years old, and
He's
he's
got he's got Neville Longbottom disorder. I mean, he's just so tall now. You just never know what's going to happen.
do we
Interestingly,
get to see Al in this one? I don't think we get to see Al on the other like
no,
No.
No,
no.
the
Yeah,
real Al, no.
no, the
The-
cadaverous owl, or the
we just have
emaciated
the
owl, I should say.
voice. We just have the voice.
Instantly, the tagline for this film was "The promised day is coming soon," which was annoying to me because the promised day isn't mentioned at all in the movie.
No.
It's so
Yep.
stupid. According to the Japanese Wikipedia page, which I read through Google Translate, it was supposed to shoot in Italy like the last one, but because of COVID, they were not able to do so.
Okay.
So it was mostly shot in Japan with some, I think, stock footage from there when they recorded, and some footage from when they recorded in Japan, in Italy previously. In an effort to make up some of the difference, I did some research on the alchemical references in the show.
Okay.
If you're interested, one of the most important ones is Hohenheim. So Hohenheim, the name of their father, von Hohenheim, famous real-world Swiss alchemist born in the I think 15th century, called Paracelsus. His real name was amazingly Theophrastus Bombastus von Hohenheim. But
Wow.
he went by
Wow. I really missed out when I named my daughter. I should have given her that. Bombastus. That's a great middle name. What's your name? Lisa. Lisa what? Lisa B. No, no, no. Come on. What's your middle name? No, I don't want to say.
Yeah, man. He was destined for greatness with a name like that. So as well as being kind of like a famous alchemist, he was also very important in the early history of kind of modern medicine. He was sometimes called the father of toxicology, and was
But he
died
had this
quite young at
deep,
only 47.
booming voice.
Oh, he must have done. He must have.
Bombastus. I'm in love with that name now. That's it. I'm
Excellent. I'm so glad you said that because we'll return to it later. The symbol that appears on Al and Ed's sort of like armor and coat, respectively, that the snake on the sort of on the cross, that's called a flamel after Nicholas Flamel, who you may have heard of, who was I think 16th century alchemist. It's also called the crucified serpent, and it represents the search for the Philosopher's Stone, or rather the completion of the great work of discovering the Philosopher's Stone, the union of the fixed in the form of the cross and the volatile in the form of the snake. And the four arms of the cross represent the four elements, with quintessence at the center.
Oh, that's cool.
Added in the crown is, I think, added by Arakawa. So Arakawa did her research. She's obviously has read books on alchemy and has, while like we discussed in previous weeks, they're not the alchemy of Amestris of the world of Fullmetal Alchemist does not look like the real kind of like alchemy. It's her own system, but she's sort of like glossed Western alchemy onto it as a decorative and exciting decorative element for the initial Japanese audience and also for us as the Western audience. But also she's done enough reading to make it slot in just enough. So the fact that they have the flamel on their coats because they're searching for the Philosopher's Stone is a nice addition. So she also added the crown, which probably represents the stone. And she also probably added the wings to the flamel, which don't appear in the original one. And they probably are similar to the wings that appear on the Caduceus, the staff of Mercury. So you're probably familiar with that.
Or they're just cool.
They are cool. They are cool, man. Or the staff of, I thought you were going to say the staff of Asclepius, which is another option, which is the famous medical one. But yeah, cool, man. Oh, while we're on the subject of symbology, the figure that appears on the flag of Amestris, that kind of lion-looking figure, that's called the Green Lion. and it represents the Philosopher's Stone as it exists before it's perfected. So when it's in an imperfect state, which is a great fit for the state of Amestris, because Amestris exists to create the to transform Father into a god.
Does kind of look Chimera-like.
It does too. It does too.
Yeah, like I can see it.
A final mention, the law of equivalent exchange, which is so important for the manga, is probably inspired by the alchemical notion, which you almost certainly heard of as above, so below.
Yeah.
The idea that the idea that the greater universe is reflected in the world that we live in, the world that we live in and observe, and also in our own bodies. Arakawa is supposed to have read that passage and been reminded of her own upbringing on the dairy farm in Hokkaido, where apparently her family motto was, "If you don't work, you don't eat."
That's a Japanese expression.
I see.
Yeah.
In other words, what you get out, what you put in.
Right.
As above, so below. And the alchemist who I mentioned last time, the one that drew the diagram of the tree of life that appears on Ed's Gate of Truth, Robert Flood, he drew a famous image of it's sort of like the Vitruvian Man, where we have a man, but also he's surrounded by the universe, with the idea that man is a mirror of the universe, man as microcosm, as above, so below, the law of equivalent exchange. Okay. Paracelsus, who I earlier mentioned, he wrote about homunculi, and that apparently was the reason why Arakawa chose his name for the character of von Hohenheim.
Okay. Actually, a friend of mine who is he's also an animator and does music and stuff. He, as a teen, tried to make a homunculi using various
cow dung.
Things,
traditionally used cow dung,
body fluids, and whatever. And he kept it in a flask for several days. And he opened the flask and took a whiff, and apparently was unconscious for 3 days. His sister found him, and they put him in the hospital. He was unconscious.
Incredible.
So
who knows kids, what that homunculus was getting up to in those 3 days?
That's right. Hey kids, don't try it.
The dwarf in the flask. Oh my god.
Or it's just choose your fluids well, I guess.
All right, let's do our votes. How do we feel about these 5 volumes?
Comics are still incredible comics.
Oh,
any
low
points
the way up
in these 5 volumes?
I wouldn't say it was a low point, but obviously, you need a little bit of fortitude to get through the less humorous parts. I think, the humor kind of breaks the tension and makes it easier because there's some heavy themes there, right?
Oh, yeah.
100%.
So sometimes it's good to have that to kind of just make it easier to get through. But
a little more palatable.
Other than that, I have almost no notes.
All right.
It's perfect comic.
How about the movie?
It's definitely an improvement on the previous one, but it's still a nay for me. I think it's pretty slow going a lot of the time, especially the action sequences. Yeah. And yet, even as it's slow going, it also has to deal with so many plot points that it can't spend enough time on any of them. So it's being in the unenviable position of being too slow and having too much material to get through.
I think I watched it the wrong way. I watched it as as when you watch a YouTube video, how much crap do I have to know before I go see Mando and Grogu? How much crap do I have to know? And it's actually not that much, but that's how I watched it, which is not the right way to watch it. It's remind me of all the things in the comics. And it kind of that's how I watched it and kind of tied things together. So I don't think that my objective opinion is, I just remember I enjoyed this much better than I enjoyed the first movie.
I'm the same. It's I can fill in all the gaps from having read the manga, and like I said, there's humor. The tone is a lot better. Although I really want to see the rest of Mustang's personality, but Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not a perfect movie, but for someone who's a fan of the manga, it's a yay.
Okay. So we got. Wait, are you Patrick? Are you going yay or nay?
I'm actually going yay
Okay.
because like I didn't get bored. I didn't like pause it and like go wash my hamster because I don't have one. Uh, but so so I yeah, I watched it straight through. I appreciated the humor being put back in, and yeah, a lot of the moments I think were I really liked Scar, and
Hmm.
when I first read the comic,
So great.
Scar was the reason that I stopped reading it because I thought they're never going to defeat this guy. Yeah, because I was kind of reading in real time at the beginning, and I was like, I can't wait. Like it's too much. It's too
He's like the
long.
Terminator. He's like vengeance incarnate.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna wait.
Unstoppable.
I'm gonna wait. So
So
I waited like 10 years. Um,
yeah,
but
he's a
yeah,
great
so I really
character.
liked McKenyu's Scar, to be honest.
Okay. How
Great.
are we going to
Fantastic.
rate it as an adaptation?
Yay.
Okay.
Want to
I
unpack
think
that, Tim?
I think definitely there were some choices made, and I think like they stuck to those choices as far as like we're gonna make the characters look like the comics, and the viewers are just gonna be okay with it, you know. And I guess I was okay with it. So I found it a lot better than many live action adaptations, but that bar is not very high.
Right. I'm gonna go.
Especially when they came from Hollywood. Those are
I'm
the worst ones.
I'm gonna go nay,
Mm.
definitely, because I think the war stuff was flat.
Hmm.
It was diluted compared to what we got in the manga. I still think that actor Yamada, is all wrong. He doesn't
Hmm.
seem like Ed at all. Weird choice with Armstrong in there. Just a
What
weird
can you
choice of
do?
stuff to put in and stuff to take out.
I
Uh,
tried to say, hey, to my wife who's kind of become a Yamada fan. I tried to say like, what do you think about him as? And before I could even finish, isn't he perfect?
Oh
Yeah, I
dear.
kind of liked him as Ed. I don't have a problem with
okay.
him.
Okay.
For me, it's nay, even though I love a lot of the casting is really good. And I
Mm.
mean, Armstrong's impossible unless you cast, how do you cast that guy?
Yeah.
Uh, You'd have to, unless you cast the bodybuilder.
Well, I think
And then can he speak Japanese?
you didn't have to you didn't have to make the top half of
Uh,
his head like
Agreed.
Find
prosthetics.
If
some real world version of it, like some
Yes,
version of
yeah,
that hair.
because how are
or
you
just
gonna
make him
do
bald. For
Yeah.
God's sake,
the
just make him
yeah,
bald.
yeah,
Yeah.
how are you gonna do the emotional parts when he's like he's got all
When it
this.
deflates or what have
I
you.
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
actors can do it. Like they can do it with a whole kaiju thing on. They can still express emotion, but it's a pretty heavy ask.
Okay.
For me, it just goes back to what I was saying when I talked about my vote for the film. Just that I think that they needed to be a bit braver with the things that they didn't include. If you want this story to be about Scar, then you need to leave out more. I mean, the film's called Revenge of Scar. You needed to
Mm.
leave out some of those subplots
Mm.
Mm.
and just have confidence in, I suppose, the story in Scar's arc throughout the
Hmm.
movie, and
I
then it
mean,
wouldn't have been as long. You could have cut out half an hour. I mean, this movie's 2 hours and 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's
it's
really not.
true that like already I think the animation had been adapted a second time. So
Mm.
they knew that they could do that if they wanted to.
Mm.
Like just do
Yeah,
the pared down story,
you
and then we'll
could.
do the
Yeah.
whole thing another time. Let's get this right.
Mm.
So in that
Okay.
case, yeah, I agree.
All right.
Yeah, it
But
does suffer from having to be cut down to be only three movies. They like, those characters that you kind of see briefly, and if you don't know the manga, you don't know who they are.
you've got
Um,
to be a lot when you only have three movies. You've got to be a lot, I think, more ambitious in the changes you want to make to the story
hmm.
to tell a story with the same themes or
Yeah, because for the most
you
part,
know
it's like somebody took the manga, cut it up, cut all the books up, and pasted it all together in a scrapbook in a different order.
William S. Burroughs. That's what that's what he does.
All right. Well, thank you, Jordan and Kumar, and we'll see you guys in a couple more months when we are between volumes again. And
Can't wait.
And if you have any questions or comments, talk to the tiny Mr. Fantastic hands.
Yeah. That works. Yeah. So Patrick and I'll be back in a couple weeks with the next chapter of Parasite. So thank you for listening.
Okay, please like, rate, review, subscribe, and share. You can contact us through the email address, which is in the show notes, or you can send us a DM or comment on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, YouTube, or Reddit. All those links are in the show notes. You'd think I'd know this stuff by now, not be stumbling over every week. And please join our Patreon at patreon.com/comicbookamovie, Oblivion, all one word. You can get our side podcast, Comic Book Movie Apocalypse, on there. We're 3 episodes in. We're releasing about 1 a month. We're a little bit late this month, but it's coming out. We will get 2 next month, probably. And also helps us with hosting fees and books, DVDs, going to the cinema sometimes, if we're lucky, things like that.
We sure do.
Yep. Okay, next week we are going to do Blue is the Warmest Color. All I will say is, I believe this movie is rated NC-17, so do not watch it at work or read the book at work. We've had trouble once in the past where somebody on this podcast was warned that a book was a bondage comic and decided to read it at work.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Anything else you need to know about this? No, this is an easy one. 1 graphic novel, 1 movie.
Brilliant.
Done.
See you next week.
See you.
Guys, we talked about Paracelsus. So his real name was, as mentioned, Theophrastus Bombastus von Hohenheim. Now, I'd heard of him before, and when I mentioned that name to a friend of mine, he remarked, as you did, Patrick, on what an awesome name it is. And how he said it sounds like the name of a badass Renaissance rapper. And inspired by that, I went away and wrote a poem, which I imagined to be in the style of a badass Renaissance rap. So please enjoy my poem. Okay, it goes. I'm Paracelsus, bitch. Fluent in classical Latin. I dress in satin, translate the ancient authors verbatim. I'm doper than opium, bolder than brass. Man, fuck the high colleges. They're only making high asses. And the ladies, they want a piece of this. It's not for nothing I'm known for describing syphilis. I'll nail my bars to your hide like Luther. That's the truth. The dose makes the poison. I'm too much for you. And all of those lines were things that Paracelsus did, said, or discovered.
He discovered syphilis?
He described it.
Oh,
he was a medical he was a pioneering doctor and medical theorist. So yes, he did. He presumably he experienced it because he was such a player.
I found a thing. It's not a good thing.